Auction time. This is the 8N series auction, 8N01. It's a knife blade made from Texas raw chert. I believe it's Pedernales type chert, similar to root beer. It has some translucency. Yeah. Okay. It's got some interesting inclusions in it. Anyway, I got this stone at the latest nap-in in Texas. It was kind of cooperative, except toward the end. Yeah, it's easy to flake when it's in the biface stage, but once it starts getting thin, I encountered some difficulty, and it gets kind of crackly. Just so you know, okay. It's sharper down here on the front edge of the blade than the back edge of the blade. The back edge is picked sharp, but this side I tried to thin it more than this side. Okay, this side is still kind of thick. All right, so there's a difference between the two edges. It's still sharp, but it's not as thin as this front or leading edge. All right, I ground it down here all the way around the tang up to here where you see that difference in the elevation, or the difference in the edge there. See a little lip or shoulder, little shoulder right there. I grained it from there all the way around to the tip of this point there. Typical of all my blades, that's what I do. And the rest is sharpened. Okay. Now let's see what the flake scars look like. All right. Let's measure it. A little over 5.5 inches. There's millimeters down at the bottom here, okay? 142 millimeters, something like that. Just so you know that you can also see the millimeters on this tape measure. And it is 1 7/8 inches wide at the widest part. The tang is 1 1/8 inches wide by, I'm measuring from the shoulder, 1 3/4. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's see. Compared to a lighter, it looks bigger than it actually is because my hands are small. All right, so that's why I bring out a lighter to compare it to. All right, let's see how much it weighs out of curiosity. I'm trying to weigh all the auction items now because I want to have a record of these weights. 722 grains. I can't see. One of these days I'll get a scale that has a readable display on video. 722 grains. Guess you have to take my word for it. Okay? It's grains, not grams. $8N02. This is Georgetown flint, high grade. I did the biface on video, and I refined it off camera and made it into like a dovetail type thing. Yeah. So I sharpened it off camera. I thinned it down also a little bit more. But mostly what I did was the notching in just the sharpening. It was basically thinned down enough on video. All right. Let's see. This light shows the flake scars better. And the challenge was to create a flat surface as much as possible. And the way I did that was I just shot flakes to the middle from both sides. Yeah, because if I try to shoot it all the way across, it doesn't like it. It starts to dive a lot. So if you want to make a flat surface or get a flat surface, the easiest way to do it, if you don't mind all these little step fractures, is just shoot it to the middle, especially if it's kind of divey, like this stuff. Shoot the flakes toward the middle, maybe a little bit past the middle, and then clean it up from the other side as best you can. It's still kind of crunchy when you do it that way. This one already had a flat area, and I was trying to get rid of it as well. I got rid of most of it up on the upper blade. Again, shooting flakes to the middle is what the tactic is, to try to get it as flat as possible, especially with divey stuff. Divey stuff means that the flakes want to curve a lot. All right, they don't like to be run on a flat surface. On some materials, you can get away with long flat flakes. On some materials, they don't like it. They want to dive in because they want a more convex surface. Like this stuff here likes convex surfaces. I mean, you can get longer flakes, but see how it tends to dive in? It'll also do that in the middle, but not as much. The longer you run the flake, the more the tendency is to dive in with material that's divey. D-I-V-E-Y. It's my nickname for it. Okay. Long explanation, but I think you get the idea. So it is sharp all the way around. What is the measurement? 4 7/8, a little bit more, by inch and a quarter, a little bit more than 1 1/4 inch, 1 5/16. And it's not translucent except around the edges a little bit. Well, maybe it is kind of, yeah. That's surprising. I didn't think I got it thin enough for it to look translucent, but I guess I did. Compared to a lighter. And let's weigh it. You might be able to see that display. 390 grains, not grams. 390 grains. All right. 8N03, another Georgetown flint piece. This one is an art piece, or an art point. Highly serrated. And there are some that look like this in the archaeological record, but they're smaller than this. Yeah, this is a large example. It's not a reproduction. I like doing these kinds of serrations, so I just did it without looking in a book or anything. Yeah, raw Georgetown flint, high-grade stuff. Although it is divey. It's just like it's the same batch. These two are from the same batch of Georgetown. It flakes well, but it does want to dive in if you don't make it thick. The thinner it gets, the harder it is to run flakes on it. Okay. And you can heat treat this stuff and it'll flake a little bit better. But I don't like heat treating Georgetown because it's highly unpredictable. Yeah. It's unpredictable as it is, but then you heat treat it and it's even more unpredictable. Sometimes it gets way too snap and half-ish for my taste. Let's see if this shows the flake scars better. No. It's starting to get dark outside. I thought this might help to show the flake scars better. I guess it does. Yeah, I like these kinds of serrations. These do exist in the archaeological record, okay? And a lot of these points are asymmetrical, so the serrations don't line up perfectly on the real ones. All right, the size of this one is 2 3/4 by 1 1/8 inch. compared to a lighter. And let's see how much it weighs. "106 grains, 106 grains, not grams. Slightly translucent, maybe, around the edges of typical Georgetown. All right, let's see. Anything else? I think that's it. Last but not least, 8N04 is a box of broken bifaces. All right, so I tried to whip out some points very quickly, and I ended up snapping a bunch of these in half. Okay, so there's three points that I snapped in half, or 3 bifaces that almost became points. Yeah. These two are Georgetown. This one is a Pedernales type chert. This one is translucent. It's not red enough to be called a root beer, but it's very similar. And it has inclusions in it. Okay, but I call it a Pedernales type. It's from Central Texas, just west of San Antonio, I think. That's where this stuff got picked up. Anyway, these are Georgetown pieces. That was regrettable here. I don't know. This was my fault. Too aggressive with it, and I didn't thin the ends down enough. You can see how the middle is too thin. Yeah. See, this should have been here, but I was just messing with it. Yeah, and it broke. I know better than to do this, so that's my fault. This one was a surprise. I didn't think this was going to snap, but oh well. And this one also a surprise. There's no defects in it. It's just I snapped them almost on purpose because I was getting impatient, or in a hurry also. That's not a good combination. Impatient and in a hurry, not a good combination. All right, so these, how large are these? 4.5, 3.25, and 5 3/4 full length. And you can see the parcel sizes. Like these two top halves, this one is 2.5, and this one is 2.125. This one is 3.25. Okay. Those are all raw pieces. None of this is heat treated. All right. Now I've got some Obsidian bifaces. Now let's see if I can describe this. These are all kind of black butter type Obsidians, right? But they have a little bit of different characteristics. They're slightly different from each other. They're all like very high grade black butter. Some of my favorite stuff, but I didn't get a chance. I ran out of time. I didn't get a chance to make stuff out of it. This, I think, is, yeah, this is the black butter that I really like. It's almost jet black. Yeah, these two are pretty much the same. They're just slightly different shades. This one's more gray than that one. This one has bands in it. Okay. It might have some sheen to it as well. Yeah. It's still high grade stuff and very buttery. But this one has a sheen. The other ones don't have any sheen to them. They're just, they got slight banding and cloudiness. Okay. This is the stuff that's very close to I think this is my favorite stuff at the moment. It's not that translucent or transparent. It's like in between dacite and obsidian. It's very buttery. I like it. It can be crackly too, so that's an issue with some people. This one is a higher grade, I think, than this one. This one's higher grade than this one because this stuff, you can run really long flakes. It doesn't crackle like this one does. So this is higher grade, but I don't like it as much. So, but I think most people like it better because it is a little bit more interesting as far as the tone and the color. I mean, the translucency and stuff. All right. Again, this is buttery and it has bands in it. This one is also buttery, but it has red. It's got some red in it. Yeah, or brownish red. There's no sheen to it though. Okay, but these are all high-grade buttery Obsidians. Okay, so how big are they? 4 5/8, 4 1/8, 4 3/4. This one is more like a triple flow, actually, looking at this, rather than being buttery like a dacite. See, this is a little over 4 1/2. This one's 4 3, little over 4 3/4. So these are more buttery than this one. Okay, this one is more like a glass. These are kind of dacite like, and I'm trying to describe these as the best way I can, or trying to describe these things so that you understand the difference. Okay, these are buttery. This is kind of buttery, but it's more glass-like. These can get crackly. I don't recommend this for beginners, but a beginner can do pretty well on this stuff. This particular piece. Okay. All right, I think that's it. I could weigh these, but I don't know. Maybe that matters. Let's compare these to a lighter, so you can kind of judge if they're valuable to you or not. All right, so I am going to weigh these. And maybe we can see with that light on. Can you see it? 842, 692, 1242, 1908. These are grains, not grams. Okay. All right, that's it for the items for this week. There aren't that many items because I was too tired. And there's not going to be a live stream today. No live stream because I'm going to take a nap. Yeah, I am very tired. Let's see. Yeah, I hope you liked this week's items. Hope you had a good weekend. Like I said, there's no live stream today. That's it. Yeah, good luck.